gentlemen, from Los Angeles, California, The Doors!
What is up, guys? EJ here, also known as Puckbond 007, here for the Movie Reviewers 100. And this week is Oliver Stone week, one of my favorite directors. So I decided to review the film The Doors from 1991. Now the reason I chose this is because I hadn't seen it in quite a while, probably at least 10 years actually. And The Doors is one of my favorite bands from the late 60s, early 70s. And yeah, I just wanted to revisit it. I figured it's a film that not many people would do. And so The Doors, of course, starring Val Kilmer as the enigmatic icon of 60s rock, Jim Morrison. It's an amazing performance by Val Kilmer. As the film says, Jim Morrison was The Doors, and Kilmer definitely embodies that throughout the movie. The movie starts off with an interesting scene where he's a kid and they're driving through New Mexico with his family, and they sort of run across this accident on the side of the road where an Indian shaman has been killed from a car accident. It's an interesting scene. Sort of sets up Morrison's life view about mysticism and taking drugs and all that kind of stuff. What made him become a great poet. His meditation on death, which is a big theme throughout this movie. And then it sort of goes into his early life in Venice Beach, California. He actually went to UCLA film school. There's a great scene where he's showing his student film or whatever, sort of this black and white, surrealistic, pretentious piece of art. That's what they call it, so I'm quoting the movie. And afterwards, the professor, who's interestingly enough played by Oliver Stone, it's his cameo in the movie, asked the class what they think of it, and a lot of them sort of make fun of it, think it's weird or whatever. And he asks Val Kilmer what he thinks of it, Jim Morrison, and he just says, "I quit." He gets up and leaves, and that's the last sort of thing he's done with movie making at that point. Then he meets up with his friend Ray Manzarek, who of course is a keyboardist from The Doors, played by Kyle MacLachlan, on the beach, and he shows him some song lyrics, some poems he's been writing, and Manzarek is intrigued and says, "Hey, let's start a band and make millions of dollars." And that's basically how The Doors was formed, at least according to this movie. The rest of the cast include Matt Dillon as John Densmore, the drummer, and Frank Whaley as Robbie Krieger, the guitarist. Also, you have Meg Ryan as Pam, Jim's longtime girlfriend, throughout the movie. I love the scene where he meets Pam for the first time. She's like at this party, and he climbs up out the window up this tree and sort of jumps in through the window to meet her for the first time, and says that he followed her from the beach, and he just says, "You're the one," and kisses her and leaves. Basically, it's a very interesting meeting between the two leads. And she also asks him, like before he does that, she asks him something wrong with The Doors, which is a very interesting line. From there, it goes on to basically their meteoric rise to stardom in the late 60s. That great sound amidst Vietnam War, free love, and social upheaval, all that kind of stuff. Doors epitomize that. Jim Morrison is a larger-than-life character, to say the least, and Val Kilmer really shows that in this movie. I love the famous moment where they play the Ed Sullivan Show, and the producers want to want the band to change the lyrics of Light My Fire, and of course Jim Morrison doesn't. While he's singing it on stage, he sort of yells it in the camera, sort of sticking it to the man, so to speak. And then beyond that, it goes into sort of Morrison's descent into drugs and sort of bad behavior in general. Like at most of their shows, they have police lining the stage. I'm not sure if it was as much to keep the audience members from climbing up on stage, or to keep Morrison from doing something reckless and stupid. There's some great moments born out of that. It goes without saying that the soundtrack is amazing. All the great Doors songs, like Light My Fire, Break On Through, Love Me Two Times, Riders on the Storm, People Are Strange, Touch Me, all great tunes are used throughout the soundtrack. LA Woman is played during the credits. And like I said, it's really focuses on Val Kilmer as Jim Morrison, sort of how he becomes distant from the band. He shows up late for concerts and rehearsals and studio sessions, which brings me to another thing I like about the movie is Michael Wincott plays the studio producer. Great actor with sort of the very raspy voice. Shows up in a lot of movies from that era, the late 80s and early 90s. I'm always happy to see him in films like this. Kathleen Quinlan has a great role as well as a reporter who sort of gets involved with Morrison. Some weird scenes between those two. One point they're sort of celebrating witchcraft, and they cut each other's wrists and drink blood, which is a very interesting scene. Also, there's a great moment where the Doors go to New York and sort of get involved with that counterculture, sort of founded by Andy Warhol. Excuse me, and he's played by Crispin Glover in the movie. There's a great scene with him and Jim Morrison. Yeah, it's just a great film. It basically ends with Morrison's death at the hotel in Paris. At the end of the movie, it says he died of heart failure, but I always was under the impression he died of a heroin overdose. Maybe it was heart failure due to heroin overdose. And Pam, Meg Ryan's character, asks him while he's lying dead in the bathtub. She asks him, "Was it good for you?" Because throughout the movie, Morrison has been talking about how he sort of welcomes death. It says it takes away the pain of living. That's the way he sees it. So it's very interesting that he sort of dies that way, along with very notable greats like Janis Joplin and Jimi Hendrix, who all died at the age of 27 in that same sort of period. It's a very good film. It's the other film that Oliver Stone made in 1991. Of course, JFK came out the same year. It's sort of got mixed reviews. Reading up some stuff about it, but I think it's really good. It's one of the best musical biopics, I think, and especially at the time when it came out, it's a great movie about a great band and a legendary, iconic figure like Jim Morrison, and Val Kilmer is just amazing in the movie. When I watch it, throughout the movie, I forget that it's even Val Kilmer. That's how good he is in this film. So that is my review for this week, Oliver Stone week, The Doors from 1991. If you love music and classic rock, and The Doors, obviously it's a must watch. So thank you for watching, and until next time, I'll see ya.